Next presentation is from Vince.
Good evening, Council, Administration. I'd like to also introduce Dave DeSuccio of IDS.
Good evening, council members.
And working together, on the project, we'll also work together with this presentation. So again, good evening. I hope this evening finds you all well and your families as well. You all work through this COVID-19. The teams have been working remotely. A lot of our firms have developed the skills and the networks and the systems required to allow us to remain productive. And what I'd like to do is go through our presentation, but I really also want to thank our partners, IDS, who's done a tremendous job of meeting the timelines that we established early on in the project after council approved bringing them on as part of our team. See, Jane, are you able to put up the slides?
Okay, that's a good question. And you said, do I have them? I will try. Let me try.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you, I'll go ahead and get started, because what will be good is to have the slide up, particularly when Dave presents. For me, we listened to the council and to the administration, and we established 3 priorities when we went to scope of the project. The number 1 priority are the items that are required to meet the settlement agreement between the City of Pontiac and Ottawa Towers. So when we're looking at the scope of the job, when it comes to the architects, the drawings, the estimates that we prepare, and the budgets that we present to the city, it will be based on these 3 priorities. So that number 1 being the requirements of the settlement agreement. Priority number 2 will be those items that are necessary to achieve the full life of the parking garage, the structure. Priority 3 will be the work that would help reduce future maintenance costs and operating costs for the structure, along with those items that would enhance the marketability or attracting people to park in that parking structure. So those will be the 3 basic priorities.
Vince, this is Matt. I just want to make sure I've caught up the slides that you're looking for.
Yes, yep, you're right on track. So those are the 3 project priorities that, again, will be the basis for the design, how each of those scope items will fall into, and then how the estimates will be developed, and the budgets will be priorities, and then the city being able to make its decisions on how it moves forward with the meeting center restoration project. With that, I will turn it over to Dave to talk about the project scope.
Thanks, Vince.
Excuse me, just one second. I did send the presentation to the city council. Is this the presentation you're asking them to look at? Just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. This is it.
Oh, this is it? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
I congratulate you for getting this up.
Yes?
Yeah. Howard, again, this is Dave DeSuccio with Integrated Design Solutions. We've been working remotely over the past several weeks to put together a schematic design package which will be used to hone the construction cost estimates for the project. What we have here is kind of a highlight of all the different work scopes that have been defined and will be costed. Each of these work scopes will be assigned a category based on what Vince mentioned previously. Portions will be required according to the settlement agreement. Others would extend the useful life of the structure. And the third would be basically to enhance the facility. So I'm just going to kind of run through the general scope, and if you have any questions, feel free to jump in. We have toured the facility quite a bit previous to the outbreak. So the number 1 thing on the list is all the structural repairs that are necessary for the facility. Expansion joints, the hangars, post-tension tendons. So it's all this repair work that needs to be done to make the facility safe and extend its useful life. With that is a certain amount of waterproofing that needs to take place when the repairs are completed in those repair areas and along with the areas where the waterproofing has been pulled up. The third item is to bring the elevators back to life. They've been sitting idle for an extended period of time, so it'll cost each elevator. Some of the elevators are repaired as part of the early on sell agreement, others can carry on after. A lot of doors and frames to the facility that need to be replaced. The security booths, we're looking at different options there as far as best way to secure the facility, whether it's gates or remote control. A lot of the roll-up doors have exceeded their useful life and also need replaced. General painting and signage throughout the facility is an important piece. And then repairs and replacements to the interior finishes. This really applies to the security offices and some of the interior spaces. We need to do some roofing replacement on the upper amphitheater area. The buildings that sit on top of the structure, the roofs up there need replacement, so we want to keep the water out. The electrical system has been pretty much stripped out of the facility, so it's an all-new electrical system, including switchgear, substations, and emergency generator. And another important part of that is a new lighting system throughout the facility, including the lighting in the underpass as part goes underneath the facility. New fire alarm system in the building, provide safe structure. Part of that also is to upgrade the fire protection system. We're going to need a new fire pump in order to comply with the sell agreement to kind of reactivate the existing standpipes and sprinkler systems. A lot of the plumbing infrastructure has been vandalized in the facility, so we're going to repair and replace the plumbing facilities and also repair and replace the HVAC systems that serve some of the office areas in the lakes. And lastly, we're looking to replace or repair and kind of reactivate the amphitheater, what that will take, and try and put a cost to kind of bring it back to how it was. This is not to enhance it as much as to bring it back to a useful level.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. So it's very important to note that the scope of the work is to repair and restore the parking structure, say in essence the way it is. There's no construction of ramps or any other, I guess, enhancements other than restoring the structure to its useful use. Okay. Something that's been very important has been guiding the team as we were brought together by City Council, and that is we initially had our kickoff meeting to discuss roles and who would be the contact people. The architect has completed a code review to make sure that as we look at the scope of the work, that once this work is completed, then it will be able to be, well, not only permitted in the beginning, but then we will achieve a certificate of occupancy, that the building will be safe. The schematic design package was due in our office on April 10th, and congratulations to the IDS. They hit that milestone date, and now our team is at work immediately doing the estimate based on the scope. So our plan will be then on the 27th of April is to meet with IDS and then with our estimators to make sure that we have reconciled, that we have picked up what their design is. If there's anything that we need to interpret based on those schematic documents, because they are the initial design phase, we'll be able to make sure that that is complete, make any corrections that are required, so that come May 1st, we will be prepared to present this estimate to the city so that decisions can start to be made. Regarding the future phase, would be then the actual preparation of bid packages. So just to give everybody a sense of how we'll be moving down the timeline, it is around the middle of May 18th, that we would be prepared to go out for bids. again, for these structural repairs in the elevators that are specifically mentioned in the settlement agreement.
Vince, if I could add there, and for the benefit of council, so as the dates go forward, now that we have our schematic design that's based upon this structural and repair work, and particularly focusing on the tunnel and the electrical and the lighting and some of these critical items, we do want to make it available. On a couple of occasions, we've reached out, if any members of council or council president, if you would like to request at any time, we're all getting pretty good at this remote meeting scale. IDS and Auch are available at any time for us to schedule this type of a meeting where they can take a little more in-depth time, show the schematic designs. We really welcome the input of any council person that would like to know exactly timing, what, you know, the process is going to be. And when we get to the point into the first part of May, when we do have estimates, it's going to be important that council is aware of where those dollar estimates are and what the plan is. So I just reiterate that Auch and IDS will make themselves available at any time for council's benefit, to make sure that we get good input from you as we go forward.
That's actually the 10 minutes as.
All right, well, thank you, Council President, for the update, and we look forward to giving you more updates in the future.
Does anybody have any questions? Go ahead, Pro Tem.
No, I'm fine. I'm just listening.
Me too.
Okay. Okay, well, that brings us to closing comments, Madam Mayor.
Yes, I would like to just start by saying this is